morning, students. I hope you all are doing well. Welcome to your economic class. Now, students, today we will be discussing chapter number 5. As students, as you know, I am teaching you from in earlier chapters. I used to teach you from old book, right? I was having old book, but now I will be teaching you from new book. But don't worry, there is a shuffling of chapters. In old book, fourth chapter is factors of production, and in your new book, first chapter is factor of production. So don't worry, I'll be teaching you through points, so you'll get all the points of the chapter in your new book as well. So don't get panic, I'll be teaching all the points. As you know, students, again syllabus has been changed, so I'll be teaching you all those points which are in new syllabus. Don't study according to old reduced syllabus, because in new syllabus they have added many points. So what I am teaching, go through, and I think I have already sent you the new syllabus of ICSE. If not, just let me know, I'll be sending the syllabus, but study the points which I have already study the points which I am teaching you in the new book. Okay, now we'll start the chapter. Now the chapter number 5 is meaning and types of market. Now market, now what is market? Market is where we buy and sell, right? Now in economics there are different types of market. Today we will be discussing those market. Now first we'll discuss the syllabus. Now your syllabus is meaning of market, forms of market. In this forms you have to do perfect competition, monopoly, monopolistic, and also you have to do similarities between monopolistic and perfect competition, and similarities between monopolistic competition and monopoly. So these are the points which you have to study. Now with this you can know that only oligopoly is cancelled according to the new syllabus. Others points are there in new syllabus. So let's start the discussion. Now meaning of market. Now what market is? Market is where we buy and sell the goods. That is market. We have one market. We assume that there is only one market for every product or service, but it depends. In economics, market is not only where we buy and sell. Even it depends on geographical area. Market is defined as geographical area on the base of competition as well. So today we will be discussing market on the base of competition. Market, now I'll underline the definition. Market refers to the whole area where buyers and sellers of a commodity are in a competition with each other to affect purchase and sale of the commodity. So you can say with this definition, with this meaning, that it's a area where buyers and sellers of a commodity are in a competition with each other so that they can affect purchase and sale. If there will be no competitors in the market, what will happen? Let us forget about economics book, let us forget about everything. As from earlier, from the first chapter only, I am teaching you that economics is a subject which relates to your normal life, which is related to your normal life. Now if there will be no competitors, what will happen? If there will be no competitors in the market, only one person is there who is selling the product, what will happen? The person will do whatever he wants to do. I mean, whatever quality he wants to sell, he will sell, because you don't have any option. Whatever price he wants to charge, the person will charge, the businessman will charge. So you will not be having any option. So essential features of marketing. Let us discuss the essential features of the marketing. Essential features, there should be, if a person say that what are the essential features to tell that this is a market, there should be a particular area, there should. Now what we used to believe is, it doesn't always, you can't say that a large area is only known as market. Even if in a small place they are dealing, buyer and sellers are dealing with each other, they are buying and selling is going through, is a dealing is going on of buyers and sellers, that is also known as market. So market is an area, it doesn't affect whether large or small, but buyers and sellers should, it depends on buyers and sellers, and it is where they used to deal. Then buyers and sellers is must. Without buyers and sellers, you can't say the place is a market. Then commodity, of course, in which you are dealing. Another thing which you need to know is commodity in which you are dealing. You cannot simply see each other face in a market and you say that yes, this is a market. In market, you should have, if buyer and sellers are there, they should sell and purchase any commodity. So commodity is there. And the last one is competition is necessary. Without competition, you cannot say that this is a market. So these are essential features: area, buyers and sellers, commodity and competition. Now next topic is types of market. Now in types, as I told you, what is in the syllabus? Perfect competition is in the syllabus. Perfect competition is in the syllabus, monopoly is in the syllabus, and monopolistic is in the syllabus. Now we'll first discuss perfect competition. As we have already discussed what market is, what are the features of market, now we'll be discussing what is the meaning of perfect competition. Now by the word itself you can understand perfect competition is what? Where there is a strong competition between buyer and seller. And when there will be a strong competition, where there are more number of buyers and more number of sellers, right? So perfect competition is a market situation where there are large number of buyers and sellers selling identical product, which is also known as homogeneous product, which is also known as homogeneous product. Okay, so perfect competition is what? Perfect competition is where is a situation where there are large number of buyers, large number of sellers selling homogeneous product or identical product. That situation is known as perfect competition. Now let's see the characteristics of perfect competition. Characteristics, you can say characteristics or you can say features of perfect competition. There should be large number of buyers and sellers, then only you can say that this situation of market is perfect competition. If there are not large number of sellers, only one seller is there or only one buyer is there, you cannot say that situation is a perfect competition. So to assume, to identify whether the situation is perfect competition, these are the features you need to keep in mind. First is there should be large number of buyers, large number of sellers. Second thing is second thing is now when there is large number of buyers and large number of sellers, what they do, they cannot charge their price by own. Like whatever they want to, they cannot charge price by their own. Because for example, let us take the example, a company, there are A, B, C, D, E companies are there in the market. Each company is making soap. We all use soap, bathing soap. Let us take the example of bathing soap. They are making bathing soap. Now as we know, in the market there are so many soaps, but for example all these companies are making same kind of soap, because in perfect competition we have to make identical products, same products. So let us assume that A, B, C, D, E is making same products, same soap, color is same, quantity is same, qualities, everything is same. Now they cannot charge price whatever they want. For example, A is charging 50 rupees for that soap, B is charging 30 rupees, C is charging 20 rupees. Now if three of them is selling same product, the consumer will go directly to the person, the C, who is selling 20 rupees product, who is selling 20 rupees for a the bathing soap for 20 rupees. So just to avoid this, they are the price takers, means the sellers cannot set, they all decide and then they set the price. Each seller doesn't decide the price. So they are the one, sellers decide together what the price they will charge. For example, A, B and C, for example A, B and C, they decided that they will charge 40 rupees. So all of them, A also, B also and C also, they will charge 40 rupees for bathing soap. So this is the difference between, this is the main thing which you need to remember while going through this perfect competition. I'll be revising this point again. Perfect competition is a situation where there are large number of buyers and large number of sellers selling identical product, and they are the one who cannot charge price by their own. They have to this they are the price takers. Whatever the firm decide, they have to set the price by their, like this. They are the price takers. They have to decide the price by their, whatever all the sellers decide the price, they have to decide that price. And that's why these sellers are known as price takers. Now sometimes in board they used to ask which firm is a price taker. So you have to write perfect competition is a situation where sellers are price takers. They cannot charge, they cannot set their price own. They all have to decide and then they have to take that price only. So now next feature of perfect competition is homogeneous product. As I earlier told you, identical product is also known as homogeneous product. They have to make same product. If there will be a slight change also, maybe one person selling orange color product and other person is selling green color product, there will be a change of color. This cannot be called as a perfect competition situation. To be a perfect competition situation, there should be identical product. Identical product means exactly same product in quality, in shape, in size, in color, in design, in packing, in everything. The size should be, the quality should be, the product should be equal. Then comes another feature, free entry and exit. Free entry and exit. Free entry and exit means any firm in the market. For example, as I told you, let us take the example of A, B and C firm. Now if D wants to enter, if D wants to enter in the firm, he can enter, as he is the new firm in the market, so he can enter in the market. So there is free entry for any firm in the market and free exit. If anyone wants to leave the market, they can do so. This is the another feature of perfect competition, free entry and exit. Anyone can join the market, anyone can leave the market, exit from the firm. So this is what free entry and exit, another feature of perfect competition. Now another feature. Now students, I'm not teaching you line by line because as you know I'm teaching you online, so I'll try my best. I don't want to make this video long and too boring for you. That's why I'm teaching only in a summary form. But when you go through your book, if you find any difficulty, you can ask me. I'll clear that point. Now next point is perfect knowledge. Next point of the next feature of the perfect competition is perfect knowledge. Now what is perfect knowledge? Perfect knowledge is, in this feature is for basically buyers. The buyer should have perfect knowledge of the seller. If buyer is not having a perfect knowledge of the seller, this situation cannot be a perfect competition. Again, I'll take the example. When foreigners came to our country, what we used to do, whenever foreigners come to our country, what we used to do, what sellers used to do, they try to cheat them because they don't have any knowledge about other products. So if for Indians they're charging one thing for 100 rupees, for them totally they'll charge 1000 rupees because they don't have any knowledge of the product. So this you cannot say perfect competition. So to be a perfect competition situation, even a buyer and the seller, they should have a perfect knowledge about the market condition, that yes, this is what price is going on. Even the seller should know what quality and what quantity is selling in the market. So there should be a perfect knowledge about the product. If there is no perfect knowledge, then this situation cannot be a perfect market situation. Then comes your absence of artificial restrictions. Another feature comes is absence of artificial restriction. Absence of artificial restrictions means there should be no artificial restrictions, means there should be no restrictions from the point of view of the government, from the point of view of the manufacturer or control of the demand or supply. There should be, to be in a perfect competition, there should be no restriction from the government point, from market demand and supply. So they should be free from restrictions, that anyone can enter the market, whatever quantity they want to sell they can sell in the market. So there should be no restriction. There should be no restriction from the government side that yes, this is what you have to, this you cannot do, this quantity you cannot sell. So there should be no restriction from the government. So there should be no there should be absence of artificial restriction. There should be no restrictions in the market. Then sixth point. Sixth point is perfect mobility. Perfect mobility is perfect mobility. Mobility means what? Movement from one place to another. Another feature of perfect competition is that there should be perfect mobility in the market, both for goods and factor of production. Now by now you know what factor of production is. I should not need to explain you what factor of production is. So there should be no restriction on the movement of goods and factor of production. Goods can be sold to any place and factors of production should be freely. If they want to choose any other occupation, for example, your labor want to change your job, he can do so. There should be no restriction. There should be no compulsion on the factor of production mobility. So this is another feature. And the last one which I will be teaching you is no other cost except production cost. Now as you know, to sell a product, what companies do? They used to do expensive advertisement. They used to hire cricketers, celebrities. Now when they are hiring them, they have to pay them, and when they pay them, they charge that cost from us only. They charge that cost from us. How they increase the price of a product, that's how they do. But in perfect competition, you are not allowed to charge all these expenses. For example, your advertisement expensive, your you can say your packaging expenses. You are making your product attractive packing, so you cannot include all these expenses in your cost, because if you do so, what will happen? You will charge different price, and for example, A will charge different price, B will charge different price, because A is hiring celebrity and B is hiring a normal person. So this will affect the perfect competition situation. As we have already discussed, in perfect competition you cannot charge price by your own, you have to be a price takers. So for this, what they do, they cannot include any cost in their product except production cost. Okay, this is what you have to do. Now next point is monopoly. Now we have already discussed about perfect competition. A quick revision of the perfect competition. Let's see. Perfect competition is a market where there are large number of buyers, large number of sellers selling homogeneous product. Features, there should be features of perfect competition. There should be large number of buyers, large number of sellers, and they are the price takers. They cannot charge the price by their own. They have to make homogeneous product, exactly same product. Then there should be free entry and exit of the firm. Any firm can come and any firm can go, and there should be a perfect knowledge. Buyer and seller should have perfect knowledge about the product. Then there should be perfect mobility of the product. Then there should be no restrictions. No artificial restrictions means no government restrictions or any other demand and supply thing can affect the market situation. Then there should be perfect mobility. Any factor of production can, if they want to move from one place to another, they can go. Goods can move from one place to another, and they cannot include any cost except production cost. So all these things which we have discussed is in this box. You can see a summary is given of all these 6 points in this box. Now let's discuss another point, another market situation. Another market situation is your monopoly. Now what monopoly is? Monopoly is where there is only single seller and large number of buyer. Mono means what? Single, and poly means seller. So monopoly means single seller. Now as we know, in perfect competition there are large number of buyer, large number of seller, but in monopoly there is only single seller and large number of buyers. Now let's see the features of monopoly. They have given the example for monopoly is Indian Railway is an example of monopoly. Whenever you are discussing economics, always go through the example. Example helps you to learn the point, to remember the point. Okay, so railway is the example of monopoly. Now what are the features of monopoly? Single seller. In under monopoly there is only one seller. Only one seller has a in the market. Railway, you can take the example of railway. In UP, you can take the example of electricity. Only government is selling electricity, and we know what government do. Whatever price they want to charge, we have to pay because we don't have any other option. We can't take electricity from anyone else except government. So whatever price they want to charge, we have to take the price. We have to take the product from them. So this is what single seller. Then another feature is no close substitute. We don't have any substitute of electricity or railway. Do we have a substitute? Like for electricity, you can use solar panel, but what do you do in summer? What you do in rainy season? Like if you use generators also, how much petrol and how much diesel you can use for generator? So these are certain things which we don't have substitutes. Somehow we have to purchase their product. That's what we do. We buy electricity. Whatever the price they charge, we have to buy because we don't have any substitute for that. So this is what another feature. They have given the electricity board example. Now another feature, restriction on the entry of new firm. As you remember, in the perfect competition there was no restriction, but in monopoly there is a restriction. They will not allow any other firm to enter in the market because they don't want to lose their monopoly. Electricity, as we are taking the example of electricity, they will not allow any other private company to make electricity, because if any other private company start producing electricity for the state, for UP, what way people will do? People will have option and they will switch over to private companies. So they will not allow any other firm to enter in the market. That is what perfect competition feature is. And the fourth one is they are the price maker. No doubt they are the only one in the market, so they have full control on the market. Whatever price they want to charge, they charge that price. So this is another feature of monopoly. Then the most important, if you see the last year papers, this point they have given as a long question also and a short question also. Price discrimination. What this word means? Price discrimination means charging different price from different consumers. For example, uh, let us take the example of for example, A and B are going to a consumer, to a shop. They are the consumer and they are the buyers. They are going to a shop, and when they entered a shop, A and B, they bought a same product. A has to pay. Seller told them, shopkeeper told them, for A to give me 50 rupees for that product, and for B only 35 or 40. Now why so? They are buying the same product. Why? Maybe that Mr. B is a regular customer of the shopkeeper, maybe B is his relative, and for A he's a new customer. So what they are doing, they're charging different price from different consumer. This is what price discrimination is. This is act of selling same product at different prices, which is very common, and this is what another feature of monopoly. This situation is also known as discriminating monopoly. This is also known as discriminating monopoly, price discrimination. Now, the next point. Today I'll be discussing only this will be the last point of today's video, monopolistic. Now, what is monopolistic? Now, monopoly is also is a real form of market, but perfect competition is just a bookish form of market. Perfect competition doesn't really exist, and monopoly exists but rarely. And what is the normal market which we face is monopolistic. This is the market. This is the real market. Monopolistic. Now what is monopolistic? Monopolistic is actual market where there are large number of buyers, large number of sellers selling heterogeneous product. Let's see the meaning. Monopolistic competition is a market situation where there are large number of buyers, large number of sellers selling not homogeneous product. Now you can say not homogeneous also, or you can use the word heterogeneous also. Heterogeneous. Don't get confused if in board they ask what this, name the market which sells heterogeneous product. Don't say that we don't, that is not given in our syllabus and all. Heterogeneous is different types of products. So monopolistic competition is a competition where there are large number of buyers, large number of sellers selling not homogeneous or heterogeneous products. That is what our market is. For example, we all use toothpaste, we all use shampoo. Now, all the companies are selling shampoo, all the companies are selling toothpaste, but something is different in each toothpaste. Maybe some companies are putting neem, maybe some companies are putting in shampoo, maybe they are putting keratin, or maybe they are sulfate free. So different, all these are same product but some ingredients are different, so you cannot say those product as identical products. So this is what monopolistic competition is, this is what real form of market is. All the, for example, as we are taking toothpaste, Pepsodent, Colgate, all of these are selling toothpaste, but Pepsodent is using salt in their toothpaste, Colgate is using neem. So what they are doing, they are using different ingredients in their product. So this is real form of market. Even they have given the example of toothpaste. You can also take the example of shampoos. Even shampoos, we have same product but different things are there in this. Now what are the features of monopolistic? Again, there are large number of buyers, large number of sellers. As in real form of market, there are large number of buyers, large number of sellers. Main feature which makes it a different from other forms of market is product differentiation. Each product is same but there is some difference in the product. As we have taken the example of toothpaste, shampoo, biscuits, they are selling biscuits, they are selling toothpaste, they are selling shampoos, but something is different. You cannot have exact price, sorry, exact, they are not making exact product, and that's why their competition is not on the base of price, their competition is on the base of quality. Then free entry and exit, they have free entry and exit. You cannot control the entry and exit of the firm like you do in like we do in the situation of monopoly, free entry and exit. Then the last one, sorry, not last, fourth one, selling cost is included. Now what is selling cost? As I already explained you, selling cost is the cost, selling cost is the cost which which a producer used to promote the product, like advertisement, like attractive packaging. So this cost is included in the product, which we cannot do in other forms of market, which we cannot do in perfect competition. So selling cost is included in monopolistic competition, and I already explained you what selling cost is. They are not having competition on the base of price because they are having competition on the base of quality. Then imperfect knowledge, buyer and seller do not have perfect knowledge. In this, they should not have any perfect knowledge of the market condition. This is what, because if they'll have a perfect knowledge, what they will do? Buyers and sellers do not have perfect knowledge about the market condition. Due to product differentiation, it becomes very difficult to compare the prices of the different products. So there should be no perfect knowledge of the product. Let us see the features. There's a large number of buyers. In a summary way, there should be large number of buyers in monopolistic. The product they are making is heterogeneous product, differentiated product. They are free entry and exit of the firm. They should have, they should, they do not have perfect knowledge about the market condition, because if there will be a perfect knowledge, what will happen? They will start comparing. So they should not be there. And besides price competition, there is not a price competition actually with this monopolistic competition. They compete on quality, they compete on other factors, not on price, on taste and preferences, but not on price. So this is what for today. In the next class we'll be discussing the last point, that is, okay students, I'll be teaching this last point also, difference between monopoly, perfect competition, and monopoly and monopolistic also. There are large number of buyers and sellers. There is, you can see quickly I'll be discussing large number of buyers and sellers. There exist only single seller in monopolistic. There are large number of buyers and sellers, large number of small sellers. There exists only single seller. There are large number of sellers. Product, homogeneous product in perfect competition, homogeneous or differentiated, but in monopolistic, obviously differentiated product. We'll leave the demand curve point. Then we discuss price. They charge same price, because they are the price taker in perfect competition. They are the price maker. Whatever they price they want to charge, they charge in monopoly. But in, again, in monopolistic, they are, you can say, they are the price taker because they don't compete on price. Entry of firm, there is no restriction in the entry. There is this in perfect competition, there is restriction. In monopoly, again, there is no restriction on monopolistic. Selling cost, selling cost is included, is not included in monopoly, in perfect competition. It depends on the monopoly whether included not, but not confirmed. But in monopolistic, huge amount of selling cost is included. Practicability, this is just an imaginary market, as I told you. It is rarely seen, this also I told you, and this is a real market situation. Now you can easily go through. Now you can also go through the similarities between perfect competition and monopolistic. One time if you read, you can easily understand the point, because I've already explained the chapter very well. If you still have any doubt, you can tell me, we'll discuss, I'll clear your queries. Thank you.